Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And for those of you who don't know, Disney just came out last week with an SEC filing for their fiscal year of 2018. So what does that mean? It means that they came out and said, hey, this is how much money we made. And it wasn't as good as Disney would have liked. They did okay in all areas except the Disney Consumer Products division. Now that division actually lost revenue and is down what it looks like from a 2-year period of 17%. What's interesting about that, the 2008 fiscal year for Disney includes things like The Last Jedi, Solo, Battlefront 2. It includes a lot of really cool things. It includes the ending of Star Wars Rebels with the beginning of Star Wars Resistance. And what's fascinating about this is the only area where they did poorly. And I find it's incredibly interesting. Now, what does that mean for 2019? Well, if you remember back towards the end of 2018, Bob Iger's like, whoa. We're gonna put the brakes on Kenobi, the Boba Fett film, the Yoda film, that was all of those things that had been talked about. We're gonna slow down on a lot of these things and we're gonna just see if we're okay. They also essentially said, Rian Johnson, no more trilogy for you. I don't know if they've officially come out and said no, or if they've just said, hey, not now. You've pissed off enough people. We're not gonna let you play with our toys anymore. Now, the idea here, now keep in mind though too, I think it was at the beginning of 2018, it was announced that Disney made their $4.2 billion back from the purchase of Star Wars, from the purchase of Lucasfilm. Now, what does that mean? That means they're still making money, but man, 2018 really didn't go well for Star Wars. What does that mean for 2019? Well, it means some really important things that we all need to be aware of. One, there's going to be a lot of pressure on JJ Abrams to deliver with Episode 9. Because if you look at Episode 9, not only is it the end of the sequel trilogy, it's the end of the Skywalker saga. Now, if he botches it, if he breaks it, if he doesn't come through, then it's not going to just mean like the end of fans or frustrated fans who were fans of like the sequel trilogy. But man, it's going to piss off everyone. There's a ton of pressure on JJ Abrams to deliver. Now, for better or worse, Episode 7 was a solid movie. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. With each subsequent viewing, I liked it more. The story was good. The story was well done. I liked it. But I liked it because it mixed the old with the new. Episode 8 takes Star Wars and kind of throws it over the shoulder. Now, I found Episode 8 funny. I found it enjoyable, but it didn't feel like Star Wars. Now, a lot of you watching can totally relate to that because you didn't feel like it felt like a Star Wars film. There were definitely problems with it. I will say that from the book to the movie, I loved the book because the book explains a lot of what Rian Johnson just couldn't do. Now, there's still some major problems with it to beat. But what's interesting, though, is 9 has to make everything make sense. It has to bring everything back, and it has to make sure that at least the majority of fans are interested in Star Wars again. It has to appease those fans that were angered. It has to make sure they don't piss off the other fans that loved it, while at the same time they have to bring on more fans so that the series can continue, so the saga can continue. Not the Skywalker saga, but the Star Wars saga. That is a lot to cast on one man's shoulders. Now, I think he's up to it. I think he's going to do a fine job. I do think because of all of this, I think there's a lot of these little rumors that have been going around that are starting to sound more plausible. The resurrection of Luke Skywalker, the resurrection of Snoke, even if Skywalker comes back as a Force ghost, that of course we know he's going to come back in the film. Mark Hamill has shot scenes for the film. We don't know if he's just going to be a Force ghost. So I'd be fine with him being a Force ghost, but I think there's definitely going to be more to it. Now, additionally, A couple other things that are going to be important look at The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is the first live action Star Wars TV show that's being cast on Disney's streaming service. If The Mandalorian does not do well, then all of the sudden the streaming service is going to struggle as well. Now, it'll still get the kids, it'll still get the parents who have kids. I mean, it'll still get me. I've got kids who watch Disney stuff. I will have to get the Disney streaming service, Disney Plus. I mean, I want to. Even if The Mandalorian sucks, I'll still probably rewatch it. But here's the thing. I don't think it's going to. If you look at who is heading it up, you've got Jon Favreau. Now, Jon Favreau is awesome. I just finished watching the Far From Home Spider-Man trailer, which is super cool. Jon Favreau's in it. He's a great actor. He's a great director. He is a great developer of story. He is quite possibly their one hope, their last hope, or maybe their first best hope, because Jon Favreau is going to create something that is well done. It's going to be well made, and it's going to be, I'm excited for it. I really am. But you also have guest directors that are going to be showing up on the series. And the one that I am most excited for is Dave Filoni. Now, Dave Filoni, obviously a huge part of the Clone Wars, Rebels. He, I think, is a managing producer of Resistance, which just means like his name's associated with it. I don't think he has much to do with the actual development of the show. But he is the guy who's given us a ton of great characters, a ton of great canon to really enjoy. And he is doing the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. Now, I am very excited about that. I am like ridiculously excited about that. I think that it's very possible that Star Wars in 2019 is going to be and going to have a lot of fan service. Now, personally, in all fairness, I hope they don't just pander to fans, because that's kind of frustrating. There's a lot of other little things that are going on, a lot of books that are coming out, really good books that I'm really excited for. And now I'm kind of hoping that they're bringing more of that old canon back. There also is there's one video game for sure. There might be a second, if not a launch. We'll see at least information about it coming out. It's supposed to be a Star Wars open world map, like a la Red Dead Redemption. That would be freaking cool. I am really freaking curious to know and to see how 2019 plays out for Star Wars. It looks like Star Wars Resistance is going to get darker. It makes me think that a lot of these concepts, a lot of these rumors about Episode 9 are going to be coming true. It gives a lot more credence to that. I am both excited and a little nervous for the future of Star Wars, but I am still, as always, a diehard fan and can't wait for more and more stuff to be released. Now, what are your thoughts on this? How do you think Disney's going to try to recap? How do you think Disney's going to try to revamp this whole process? Do you think they're going to start letting people go? Do you think they're going to give certain people promotions? Do you think we're going to see more and more and more of the old canon being brought back? I totally do with the Game of Thrones creators, with their trilogy. I think that's what we're going to see, a lot of the old canon being recycled into new canon. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Instagram is more of like my personal account, but you get to see who I am and whatnot. If you like supporting the channel, there's links in the section below. Visit us on Going Nerdy and join us on Discord. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Star Wars. My favorite thing in the world is to discuss Star Wars and to speculate about what is going on. Leave a comment in this section below. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.